Hey, when we take a look over on GameStop, we take a look over on AMC, we take a look over on FFIE, all of these are meme plays. Now, FFIE is a newer meme stock, and you might say to yourself, oh, Deck, I didn't know about FFIE. FFIE is actually one of the plays that is actually spiking and holding its gains up very well. Let's take a look at this. You can see 15-minute time frame. FFIE went all the way from the price of 4 cents and is now up towards the price of 60 cents. Excuse me. This is very good. This is pretty incredible. This is pretty magnificent. Traders, FFIE has gone from 4 cents to 60 cents. We are absolutely flying off the charts. If you had an account of $400 and you got in on FFIE at the price of 4 cents and now it's up towards 60 cents, traders, you could be up nearly $3,000 at this time. How insane is that to be thinking about? You'd be over that. Making more than that. If you guys had a $1,000 account and you guys jumped in on this play, you guys could be making upwards of $40,000 over on FFIE. I mean, that's what's so nuts about these type of plays is that they're tiny, so everyone can afford them. And when they move huge percentages because they are so tiny. And when they get these crazy rips and runs, guess what happens? Everyone gets involved in them because everyone wants to make money. And that just leads to more people buying and buying and buying and buying. So we know that we have seen FFIE go crazy. We have seen GME go crazy. We have seen AMC go crazy. Now, let's stick with GME here for the moment. GME, let's talk about this here. Let's break this on down. Let me go over some pictures that I want every single trader to be aware of going forward. These are some big things that I want you guys to understand because I'm a shorter. I don't like going long on these plays. I like going against these plays. So, first picture I want to be able to bring on over is going to be this picture right here. This picture, traders, this is one that I posted yesterday and it got a lot of attention. And what this shows is over the past 3 years, GameStop has gone on a fair share of spikes. Now, every time we have seen a spike with a longer upper shadow on the weekly chart, it has always led to the previous week being red. So what does that mean? GameStop needs to get back above $60 before the end of Friday to close the upper shadow. And if it doesn't, that almost guarantees that next week will be a heavy red week, statistically speaking. So let's actually break down this chart here. Okay, let's do this together. We can see something that's pretty wild. When we take a look over on GameStop right here, the hottest stock in the stock market, we can see that we are on a weekly chart. Every single time GameStop has spiked, it has been on a 1 week spike and the following week has given back nearly all of its gains. Here is a 1 week spike. The following week, it has given back nearly all of its gains. Here's again a week spike. The following week gives back all of its gains. Every time we close off with this large upper shadow, it shows that the following week is going to be a time that you are going to want to get involved and start looking for a short. So that is what's so beautiful about GameStop right here is the predictability. Now, so many people are saying, oh, charting doesn't work on GameStop. Oh, this is a meme play. Charting won't work on this play. Well, it has for the last 3 years. Oh, this time's different. Okay, go ahead. Say this time is different again. If you look at GameStop, GME, every time we have spiked on the weekly chart and we finished off with a large upper shadow, it has always led to the previous week giving back nearly all of its gains. Now, if we know this information right here, and I take a look over on GME, and I switch on over towards a weekly chart at this time, and that shows me that, okay, if we do not close this gap and we don't get all the way back up towards $55, $60, well, that just shows me that next week we should be getting all the way back down towards around 28. That shows that next week we could be going all the way back down towards 30, right? That shows me that next week is going to be the easiest time to look for a potential short. So just by looking at the chart, that's going to be extremely helpful to me. Just by looking at the chart, that's going to make my life extremely simple. So let's go over something else here, team. Let's go over this chart now. This was a chart that I made yesterday. You guys may have seen this. And this is pretty wild to be thinking about. All right, so I typed this on out as well. I said, this post, many traders won't like it, but real traders are going to love it. So I'm going to explain why right now, why 90% of stock traders fail in this post, and I'm going to explain why 10% of them consistently win. I'm going to back up everything I say with stats and statistics. The picture right here shows that in the past 3 years on a weekly time frame, right, just like we looked at before, every candle is represented in a 5-day stretch, which is Monday through Fridays. GameStop first started spiking in 2021, which was 3 years ago. Since then, GameStop has only had 8 hard weeks of spiking. Since then, for those who do not know, there are 52 weeks in a year, and that would be 156 weeks that you can trade, aka 3 years. Over the past 3 years, GameStop overall has been a falling stock and price has dropped every single month. So if we break this on down mathematically, over 156 weeks, there has been only 8 true breakouts where we can see strong breakouts take over. This means you have a 1 in 19.5 chance of actually nailing a breakout. Those odds are awful. So traders, and let me look at you guys and tell you guys this right here. Let's take a look over on GameStop. GameStop. It doesn't matter how you look at this play. If you look at a daily chart, if you look at a weekly chart, if you look at any sort of play. If you want to make money, if you want to be consistent, you tell me, which way has GameStop been going over the last 3 years? We were up here, we were 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 here, and we've been fading and falling. Where has GameStop been going the last 3 years? Down, 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 down. That's what GameStop has been doing. There has only been 7 times that we've actually even had a decent spike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and right now is the 8th time. Now, if we again do the math behind this, we have 7 times or 8 spikes over the last 156 weeks. That means you would have to nail a 1 in 19.5 chance. You basically have to nail a 1 in 20 chance that you are going to nail GameStop on a hot spiking week, on a hot spiking move. Well, instead, if you didn't nail the hot spiking week, you have a much better chance of just betting that it's going to fall. If you just bet that GameStop's going to fall after every spike, you are going to have almost a 15 and 20 chance of winning. You are going to have, a much better chance, a 3 and 4 chance of winning. 75%. Would you guys rather be 1 in 20? Or would you guys rather have a 75% chance of winning? I don't know where it comes from. I really don't know where it comes from. I think it's just something that we're born with and bred with, and it's our upbringing where it's like, okay, find the best stock that's going to break out. We could just say to ourselves, big time spike, it's going to dump. Big time spike, it's going to dump. Big time spike, it's going to dump. Every single time GameStop has had a spike, it has dumped on off. Every single time. There has never been a time that GameStop has gone this. Up, kept going up, kept going up. If you take a look at the weekly chart, every single spike has led to a sell-off. You have a 1 in 20 chance of nailing a spiking week. Well, instead, you have a 75% chance is if you just wait for the spike and then short it the next week. That is going to be absolutely insane to see. That's absolutely insane to realize. So why don't we just wait for the easy odds? Well, I don't know, Dak. I'm hoping GameStop goes higher. I'm really just hoping GameStop keeps going on up. You know what they say? You got to be having the diamond hands. Diamond hands. Guys, why are we doing this? Why are we, again, just randomly gambling? We know, again, the odds are in our favor. We could just be able to make money on these plays and be able to be so much more consistent. Right? So we don't need to be, again, part of that. We can just make sure that we are, shorting and being able to make a lot more cash. So that is going to be GameStop, and we want to make sure that we are on top of every single move. Now, we also do have FFIE. Now, FFIE, this one's a little interesting. FFIE, this is a play that I'm not too familiar with or as familiar with, but it has been, again, consistently moving itself on up. Now, if we take a look over on our Fox Runner news scanner here, we can go ahead, type in FFIE, and we can go over to the news section. And you could see there's blogs right here. So you could see blogs. And if I click, it's AMC, FFIE, GME, all in this play. So what does it say? It says, open this full article here. It says FFIE intelligent electric stock surges 120% as, again, the meme stock madness is back. So FFIE is getting thrown into this meme stock madness. FFIE is getting thrown into this meme stock type of place. So all of these meme stocks here, I basically have the same thought process. I have the same idea. Let them try to run as high and as big as high and big as they possibly can this week, and let's look for the shorts when the hype starts fading on off next week. Now, this is not usually how I like to trade, okay? Usually, how I like to make money on a lot of these plays is going to be when we see penny stocks have their morning spike, the stock market opens on up, and then they get a nice dump and fade throughout the day. This is what usually happens. Big time spike, big time dump all the way back on down. That's what usually happens every single day. Meme stocks are going to be a little bit different. Meme stocks have a lot more of a bigger following behind them. They don't, spike and usually dump the same day. They usually spike, come on down, spike on up, come all the way on down, look like they're dead, spike all the way on up. So I like to give them a few more extra days to kind of, die on off. Give them a little few extra days to kind of, slow on down. So FFIE right now, team, this stock is still alive, still well, and still, again, trying to pump itself on up. Would I want to short this play? Yes, I definitely think that this is a good one to short because it's a smaller play. Everyone can afford it. You have big percentages whenever FFIE does turn and fall. But at the same time, there is going to be a lot of risk still shorting relatively early. FFIE started spiking again very big over the last 2 days. But this is one that, just like, again, GameStop, was all the way up towards $80, this one could be able to fade and fall and start dropping. Now, what I will say at this moment is GameStop is definitely looking weaker. GameStop at this time, I made this picture from before so you guys can check it on out, is any time that it is in the bearish, the pink, that is obviously going to be a time that people are going to be getting nervous and people are going to see this thing start falling and fading. You can see we do have an uptrend over on GameStop over the last few days. You can see that uptrend starting to crack. You can see, again, bullishness up above that $60 mark. And anything that's right in the middle, that is going to be more towards the neutral side. But at this moment, traders, guess what? If I take a look over on GameStop and if we make this a little bit larger here, let's go back. I think that was like a 10-minute time frame. Let's go back 10 minutes here. Yeah, you can see we're already starting to crack this line here slightly. So you can see GameStop bouncing. What I would like to see over the next day or two. Today's Wednesday, right? We want to see GameStop still get a little attempted rally. Give it a little attempted rally tomorrow. Give it a little attempted rally on Friday. Then we know next week is going to be the easy shorts. Meme stocks have a little bit too big of, hype behind it. Meme stocks have a little bit too big of momentum behind it. Meme stocks have a little bit too strong of, that action behind it. So we do have GameStop live right now. Let's be all set, ready to rock and roll, all set, ready to go, and switch out our scanners to our main scanners here. So I'm going to grab these, switch out our main scanners, make sure that we're all set, ready to go. We have our breakout scanner. Remember, we went over this yesterday. We have the high of the day momentum scanner. Now, what I want to teach you guys right now, the high of the day momentum scanner, what I want you guys to look at right now is the count alerts, okay? Every morning, I do something exactly the same. I look at the count alerts and I wait for the first stock to hit a 20. See how it says 3, 1, 2, 4? I always wait to see which one hits a 20 first. Now, why is this? Because I want to see where is the volume going to go. I always say basically all the traders out there in the world are the mob. The mob is the majority of buyers. The basically traders that are just running around and pushing plays on up. I want to see where the mob is going to go. Where is the majority of buyers going to go? Where are traders going to look at? So I see TTO right here has a 20 count. That shows me that it has some attention. Guess what? If I see, again, a stock hit 20 high of the days, look at this. Okay, EDBL is taking over. EDBL right here, 76 count. Now I know right away, boom, this is where the attention's at. Now I know EDBL, boom, this is where the attention's at. EDL, boom, this is where the hype's at. EDBL, boom. You guys see how I just saw that? So if I didn't have, let's say, other scanners, if I didn't know that, all I could do is look at the high of the day momentum scanner. 82 count, boom. I know that's the stock that has the mob and that's the attention. EDBL just got halted. So remember, we're looking at the high of the day momentum scanner. I gave you guys the high of the day momentum scanner yesterday. So I gave you guys this scanner yesterday so you guys have the same exact thing that I have. If you guys just have trade ideas, you won't have the high of the day momentum scanner. That's custom coded so that it's only for us. So the thing is, now I have EDBL, shows me that this stock just went on a very big spike, very big rip and run, and this is awesome. It just got halted. I told you guys what halts were yesterday when you hit the LULD. The LULD was at the price of $8.94. And now let's start doing some research, okay? So EDBL, let me ask you guys a question. What would be a great area to start looking for a short on this play? Now, let's try to break this play on down together, guys. EDBL. This is a play. What's the first thing that we always want to do? The first thing that we always want to do, and this is stuff you can do in pre-market as well, is you want to figure out, does this stock have any credibility? Is there a reason on why people are buying EDBL? Is there a reason on why EDBL right now is currently up at this moment 109%? Is there a reason behind this? And we can go over to EDBL. We break this thing on down. Let's take a look. EDBL, is there any sort of news? 2 hours ago, it came out with a filing. 2 hours ago, it came out with a filing. 2 hours ago, it came out with an earnings report. So you can see EDBL reports significant 27.6% year over year revenue growth. So that is, again, very important for us to be able to realize. That is very important for us to be able to see that EDBL does have an earnings report. So this whole entire spike is from an earnings report. Are earnings reports good? They're solid. They're not bad. They're okay. The thing is, when I take a look over on EDBL at this moment, right, this play is on a nice uptrend. It does have credibility. And on top of that, it does have a very low float. Today, we are actually going to teach you what the float means and why we look at floats. Now, if you ever need to see what a float is, you guys can always go to Yahoo Finance. So again, go to Yahoo Finance, type in EDBL, and then after you type in EDBL, guess what you can look at right here? Go to EDBL, go to statistics. After you go to statistics, scroll on down, and you'll be able to see float, 288,000. Just a little heads up for you guys. The lower the float, the easier it can spike. So the lower the float, the bigger the rip. The lower the float, the bigger the spike. The lower the float, the bigger the run. So what we have here is a 288,000 in float. What's considered low float? Anything under 5 million. We have 288,000. That means it's very easily manipulated. The float are the shares offered to the public. If we have every single person right now saying, ooh, I want to get involved in EDBL, and there's only 233,000 shares available, guess what? We have everyone fighting over those plays. It's simple economics. When you have a very low supply and you have a high demand, the stock is going to increase in price. So EDBL has a low supply of shares. Everyone is buying EDBL right now, which is making this price of these shares increase dramatically. So we do have a low float. That's beautiful. We do have a lot of volume. That is beautiful. We do have a good, credible press release. That is beautiful. These are all the reasons on why this stock would move up in the first place. But now let's look at the past chart history pattern, right? I want to make sure, you guys realize it's all about looking at the past. How high can EDBL go up towards? So when I look at the past on EDBL, I can see all these big upper shadows, and which is great because this gives me the stock's DNA. This shows me the stock's genes. When I take a look over on EDBL, I see that this play usually does what? Spike and give all its gains back. Spike and give all its gains back. Spike and gives all its gains back. Spike and gives all its gains back. So what you want to do is we always want to look at all these top spikes. All of these top spikes and put a line across this area. This shows me that we spiked up towards the price of $11. We gave back all our gains. $11 gave back all our gains. $11 gave back all our gains. $11 gave back all of our gains. You can see that there is a very strong area of resistance right around $11. Now you can also see, I see a very strong line of resistance up near around the price of around $12.75. Now, where's $12.75 coming from? I could see that there's a spike right here, gave back a lot of its gains. Spike right here, gave back a lot of its gains. Spike right here, gave back a lot of its gains. And even a spike right here, which gave back a lot of its gains. So when I take a look over on EDBL, you are now asking yourself, we have a low float stock with a good credible press release, has a lot of volume behind it. This is a play that's most likely going to keep on spiking. Where is there going to be an area of reversals? That's what you want to be looking at. So those areas of reversals that I see are going to be here, 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 here. Those are nice areas of reversals. I also see here, 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 and here. This is an area of reversal. So when I'm taking a look on this play, if I want to feel confident on where I want to get involved in, I want to be looking at the price of around $11. $11 could be a great starting entry. Or if I want to be a little bit more cautious, I wait until around $12.85. $12.85 is a great starting entry. Now, are you going to get filled every single time? The answer is no. Take a look at EDBL right now. EDBL is already starting to fall. EDBL is already starting to get a little weaker. EDBL is already starting to drop. So the thing is, you will not get filled every single time. But the thing is, traders, if you do get filled right here, or if you do get filled right here, you have a great opportunity of seeing that sell-off. Remember, team, everything that I'm teaching you is about placing the odds in your favor. Everything that I'm teaching you is about making sure that when you get filled on this play, you are going to have a better chance of winning than losing. Sure, I could wake up right now and say, hey guys, let's start shorting it right now at the price of $8. But why at the price of $8? Because I hope it goes down at $8? No. What if, again, we see rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, right? We see it every single time at this area. Let's just play a different game. Let's play a different analogy here, okay? Let's imagine that, again, you are looking at a person that you are interested in, right? It is Friday night, you're out at a bar, you're out at a restaurant, you're out at a lounge, wherever, and you see a person that is very attractive to you. And you see one, let's say, guy walk up to this girl, and he got rejected. She said, no, I'm not interested. Then again, another guy walked up to her, and she goes, no, I'm not interested. Another guy walked, no, I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. And now you and your friends are basically watching this happen. All these guys are trying to talk to this one girl, and she just keeps rejecting, 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 rejecting. Now let's say this random guy, Steve. Steve again says, hey, you know what? I'm going to go talk to her. And then Steve starts walking on over, and you and your buddies make a bet. And you guys say, hey, who here thinks Steve gets her number? Who here thinks Steve gets rejected? And you know what I would bet? If she rejected the last, again, 10 guys right here, and no one got her number, and now Steve goes, oh, I'll go do it, I would make a bet with my friends, $20 that Steve gets rejected as well. Now, why would I say that's going to happen? Because of the past, because of what I've seen, because of the statistics behind it, because of the math behind it. If I showed up in a Deckmart Trades t-shirt Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then on Monday someone said, hey, $20, what do you think again Deck's going to be wearing? You're going to probably say he's wearing a Deckmart Trades t-shirt. And the reason why is because that's what he's worn the last 5 days. It would make sense for him to continue to move on here, right? So, is there going to be a time that I will wear a different shirt? Absolutely. Will there be a time that maybe, again, Steve is the love of this girl's life and she says yes? Absolutely. But the thing is, if we just play the odds, we are going to win more than we lose. Traders, in 2024, I have an 89% win rate. 89%. And you know how I have an 89% win rate? Because I'm not just saying, oh, I'm going to short here because I feel like this is fun. I short at the areas that show me that we're going to have rejection. So I'm going to look to get filled here, have a stop loss here, and if it keeps on going up, I get filled here, and then I have a stop loss here. So basically, I get filled where I think there's a great chance of success. Then on top of that, guys, I have a stop loss right above the area in case, again, there is acceptance, except there is, it's still a breakout. And then, you know what? I lose, let's say, $200. If it keeps going up higher and higher and higher, I'm out of this play. And guess what? I get filled again right here. I get filled again right here. If I don't, hit my stop loss, then it starts falling on down. I make back my $200, plus I make a whole lot more. So it's about, having those, odds. It's about, making sure that we understand these plays. So what did I teach you guys yesterday? First things first, we have our scanners. How did we find EDBL? We found EDBL by, of course, having our high of the day momentum scanner. I told you again, once we get stocks that break that 20 count, that is going to be the stock that most likely is going to have the most attention, which means it's going to be the most volatile, which means it's going to be the most profitable. After that, team, we want to figure out, is there a reason on why EDBL is moving on up? The lower the float, the bigger the volume, the better the reason, has a better chance of continuing to move up even higher. On top of that, team, we talked about how to be able to actually short EDBL. You guys can go over to the short request button right here, type in EDBL. And why do we have to type in short request on EDBL? Because there is an L right here. Since there's an L, we have to locate our shares to short. So now we click locate over on EDBL, and now I can short this play. Now, this is, again, something that you need to ask yourself. This is something that is going to be very important. I'm glad this came up right here and right now. And what this is that you guys are going to have to say to yourself right now, is it worth it for me to short to pay off my fee? So what does that mean? Well, that means some stocks are going to be in higher demand than other plays. If everyone is locating shares on this play because everyone thinks that this play is going to dump and drop, you are now going to be competing. Just like you want to get in first over on EDBL before the price increases, same exact thing with you locating shares. You locating shares, you are going to have to pay a fee. Usually the fee is not very big. But if everyone is paying for locate shares, this fee is going to go up. You can see locates are not available right now. Guess what happened? They were just available 30 seconds ago. More people are locating shares. Right now, Lightspeed is going to have to find more shares for you guys to be able to short, and they're going to charge a higher amount. So the thing is, team, the earlier you locate your shares, doesn't mean you enter, but the earlier you locate shares, the cheaper it's going to be. So a lot of times, when I wake up in the morning, I might look at the number one top gainer. I'll click locate to see how much they cost. If they only cost, let's say 10 cents, if they only cost, let's say $2, I will go ahead and I will locate them right there, then and there. I might not even use them on the day. But the thing is, if you wait for a big time spike, now a lot of people are going to say, ooh, this is going to be a great short, let me locate, and your fee is going to be more expensive. Sometimes if you wait, right now there are no shares available to short. So your fee is either going to be more expensive, or if you wait too long, you are not even going to be able to short because there's no shares available. So that is, again, something that you have to be realizing, over on EDBL or again on these breakouts. It does come down to first come, first serve on shorting shares. And the longer you wait, the higher the fee there's going to be. That does not mean you need to enter. Does not mean you need to enter at $4. It just means you got to pay the locate fee and you can enter whenever you want. But if you do not pay the locate fee early, it will get more expensive as things go on up. Okay? So EDBL. Definitely very important play. Let's see when this one's going to be opening on up. We remember the website I taught you guys yesterday, NASDAQtrader.com/trading halts. We can go ahead, check this on out, post that right there, and we can see EDBL is currently halted. Why is it halted? Because it has volatility. A lot of people are trading it. Now, notice, we have actually gone over a 5-minute hold. It got halted at 9:37 and 31 seconds. Now, what did I teach you guys also about yesterday? I know a lot of things we're kind of recapping on, but getting everyone back on the same page is that halts usually last for 5 minutes, just like this one did right here. MTC got halted at 9:36 and 32 seconds, got unhalted at 9:41 and 32 seconds. So EDBL is going to be the same exact thing, 9:37 and 31 seconds. It should have been unhalted at 9:42 and 31 seconds, but it's not. So it's going to be a 10-minute halt. And now a 10-minute halt is going to be 9:47 and 31 seconds. Now, if you go above 10 minutes, that is where panic starts to set in. Let's think about this as a psychological trader, guys. Let's think about it in psychology. If you are in on EDBL right now and you are on the long side and you're saying, okay, we just got halted. Okay, we didn't get halted. We got halted, but we didn't get out after 5 minutes. Okay, don't worry. We're going to get out in 2 minutes here. I'm going to get out right away in 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden it goes to 11 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. You're going to start saying, what's going on? Like, what's happening to EBL? Why is this halted so long? I got to sell the moment this opens on up. And the thing is, once you open on up after 10 minutes, you usually always see a dump. So let's see if this opens on up in the 10-minute region. 10 minutes, okay. But once you cross 10 minutes and you start going to 15-minute halts, 30-minute halts, 45-minute halts, usually whenever you open, everyone sells off their plays. So that's a nice little cheat sheet to just be able to make money and to always be aware of when a nice short is going to be coming on up. So EDBL should be getting unhalted at 9:37 and 31 seconds. That'll be 9:47 and 31 seconds. So let's get ready to rock here. M is still volatility as well. So M over on that is going to be volatility. LUDP is volatility. M is volatility. So all those are volatility. 40 seconds till EDBL opens on up. EDBL does have this uptrend. What I would like to see is EDBL go on this nice spike and nice rip. Now also take a look at the high of the day momentum scanner. Aren't we having a new stock kind of take on over? Look at the high counts right here. We have AWIN right now. Look at AWIN with 207. So guys, take a look. AWIN starting to go crazy. Found it on the high of the day momentum scanner. We could study this play and look to see when is this one going to become a nice short. So also I can see this right now. Let's just take this for an example. Let's go AWIN. Let's see, do we have any shares available to short? Locate. Guys, $19. I'm going to take a screenshot of this right now. I'm not actually going to jump in on AWN, but if AWIN goes on up, I bet you these fees are going to get a lot more expensive. So fees are going to get more expensive, but let's go back over to EDBW. So EDBW or EDBL, EDBL right here. Are we live? And guys, take a look. EDBL, open on up, 10-minute halt, big gap down, everyone's selling it on off. Traders, this is why we love shorting. Okay, this is why we absolutely love shorting right now. We love shorting because every single trade, every single play, guys. Let's just take a look over on EDBL here one more time. Okay, let's take a look over on this play. If I take a look over the past, okay, I'm going to take a look over the past couple months here, and this is what's so wild. This is what's so nuts, and this happens on nearly every single penny stock play that you guys look at. This is showing me all the way back to October of 2023. Take a look at EDBL. Okay, EDBL is the number one top gainer in the stock market today. EDBL, or was the number one top gainer. EDBL is up 53% at this moment. It was up over 100%. Every single morning, I see traders wake up and they say, ooh, that stock's up 100%. I can't wait to buy it. And I say, why are you going to buy this play? And they say, Deck, the stock's up 100%. It's going to go up 200% now, 300% now. And I say, why do you think that? Well, if it's up 100%, it should go up even more. That's kind of like the crazy stock trading, mantra. If it's up, it'll go up more. And that's not what's true. Same exact thing with all of these meme stocks. People think, oh, it's up. Let me buy in on this. I'm late. When really the answer is, it's up. Let me look for a reversal. Everyone's going to start taking profits soon. When we take a look over on EDBL, be honest with me right now. Be honest with me. Which way does EDBL look like it's going? EDBL over the last 9 months has been fading and falling and dropping. Am I wrong thinking that? Can we all agree that there is one ginormous downtrend over on EDBL? Can we all agree that EDBL has been fading and falling and dropping for the last 9 months in a row? So why in the world are you showing up today and saying, oh, EDBL, I can't wait for a breakout? EDBL has had 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 breakouts. 4 breakouts over the last 9 months. And you want to say, oh yeah, let me buy shares of this. Why? Guys, there are 4 breakouts over the last 9 months. That's basically me telling you right now at this moment, there's about 200 days that the stock is going to fade and fall, and you're going to have 4 opportunities that the stock is going to go up. Oh yeah, I want to buy up. Yep, diamond hands, Decky. Diamond hands. You know how these hands work, baby, to the moon. Guys, why are we playing the worst game in the casino right now? Why are we playing the worst game in the casino? When instead, it's we see a spike, we know it's going to fall. These are garbage stocks. This is not Apple. This is not Tesla. This is not Google. This is not Microsoft. These are garbage companies. Stop looking for breakouts. Let all the other garbage traders out there push all of them on up, and we will short them all back down to nothing. That's what we're going to do here. Every play that spikes on up, we know it's coming back on down. Every play that goes on up, we know it's going to crash. All these plays on the penny stock world are not Apple, not blue chips, not Microsoft. They are going to come flying all the way back on down every single time. 4 chances out of the last 200 to be able to make money, and you want to do the 4. It's almost like this. It's almost like, this case. Let's imagine you go over to a casino game, okay? You go over to play roulette. All right, you have, the dealer right here. Here's the dealer, and you have this big giant roulette board, okay? And it's like, okay, pick what you want to do, right? Pick what you want to do. You are either going to bet right here that the stock is going to fall, or again, you are going to bet right here that the stock is going to climb. Hey, it is your choice. You get to put your money on where you want it. And then we take a look at the wheel, all right? And this is the wheel right here that he's about to spin that little white ball on. And the wheel looks like this. Okay? And all we have is all the way over here. This is all falling. This is all falling. Yep, we're going to fall. This is right here where we are actually going to spike. Okay? And the thing is, it pays the exact same. So if you bet in the red, you win $1,000. If you bet in the blue, guess what? You win $1,000. Okay, which way are you going to bet? Which way are you going to place your odds? Traders, if I ever saw anyone at a casino ever play this hypothetical made-up game and they're betting in the blue, and I'm saying, why are you doing that? And they go, trust me. Trust me. I got a good feeling about this one. That's exactly what you're doing here, buying these breakouts. That's exactly what you're doing here, looking for these plays. Everything that I'm teaching you here, team, I love it, absolutely. But I love it because it's the math that makes sense. It's the statistics that make sense. It's what checks out, okay? If it was opposite and every stock went up, sure, I would again be looking for buying breakouts all the time. But that's not the math. That's not what happens. Take a look at EDBL right now. Take a look how EDBL is falling apart at this moment, right? That's not what we want to do here. So this is, all so important that you guys are gauging, that you guys are understanding. Now let's go back over to AWIN here for a second. AWIN, let's see if these locate fees went up in price. Okay, so it was $19.78 and $26.50. Now the cool thing is Lightspeed does give us 2 different options. Always go with the cheaper option. So the thing is, team, they always go through like 2 different routes to try to find shorts for you. Go with the cheaper option. Don't be like, ooh, are these better? No, they're not better. They're exact same. Go with the cheaper option. But let's see, since it's been like 10 minutes now, let's see if this price has gone up because more people are going to be looking for shorts soon. $19 and $26. Let's see it now. It is, now it's $24. So there's no $19 option anymore. And you might say, Deck, why is that happening? Well, remember, we are waiting longer. More people are now discovering AWIN. Since more people are discovering AWIN, guess what's happening? The price of these shares to short them are now increasing. So they're now moving on up. Now they're getting higher and higher and higher. So you want to, again, be there early. I just wanted to give you a live example of that. Now, the longer you wait to locate shares to short, the tougher it is to get those plays, or the more you're going to have to pay. So a lot of times when you see a breakout, if you have very inexpensive short locates, go ahead and get them filled right away. Oh, EDBL. Oh, sorry about that. Let me go back over towards that. AWIN. Sorry, I was on the wrong play. AWIN, let's see right here. Now AWIN, no shares even available right now, team. So locates unavailable. So right now at this moment, locates are unavailable at this time. Now you might also say, Deck, why is EDBL available? Well, EDBL is available because guess what? People now are getting out of their shorts. People are again saying to themselves, oh, Deck, I just made a lot of money. Guess what? Now I'm getting out of my shorts and now there's more shares available to short. So just like, again, you got to think about there's only a limited amount of shares. There's only a limited amount of shorts to go ahead and put out to people. So the thing is, now people just shorted it, just made a lot of money, covered their plays, and now the shorts are now available once again. So basically, we're getting like we're getting hand-me-down shorts right now. People, again, got on the shorts before. Remember, we couldn't locate those shares from before, and now EDBL is crashing. People are already making money. Now, take a look, guys. AWIN starting to spike its way on up. AWN starting to go crazy. So now, again, we can take a look, but I don't think there's any shares available to short at this moment. AWIN. Right now, you can see it's searching. Nope, nothing that we can do. There were shares available before, right? So we're missing out because we didn't pull the trigger here. So AWIN, it's not halted yet. You can see the LULD. It's hitting 816. You got to wait for the level 2 to zero out. Wait for the level 2 to zero out. Sometimes these plays will come back to life and actually start moving. It's still not halted yet. It's still not halted. There's still orders. Now it's halted. See where it's zeroed out? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now you can say, okay, whew. Let me do my research. So traders, let's do our research. Let's do this together. Why is AWIN spiking? Let's take a look here. AWIN. Take a look, see what we have over on the news here. Last press release I see, Tuesday, 4-30 here at the moment. So that is, let's see what else we have. News filter, let's see, AWIN. No news. Last press release 2 weeks ago here. All right, give me 1 second as well, traders. I just want to take a screenshot of this. Man, we're cooking today, though. We are cooking today. We are cooking here. AWIN on high watch. Whenever I see, again, certain photos, guys, I always like to save them and be able to post them for you guys to just be able to learn. So that's all I'm doing right here at this moment. All right, awesome. So we already know right now at this moment, traders, we know at this time, we know at this moment that guess what? AWIN is halted. First thing I always like to do is go over to www.nasdaqtrader.com/traderhalts. Why? Because I always like to see when it's going to open on up. AWIN halted because of volatility. 9:55 in the market. That means we are going to be opening on up at 10:49. So 10 o'clock and 49 seconds. I have about 2.5 minutes to be able to break down this play. That's what I have, right? So now AWIN, I'm asking myself, First thing, what's the float? Does it have a low float, guys? Well, what did I teach you already? Anything that's underneath 5 million in float can go on a very hard spike. So we type in AWIN, we go over the statistics, and we can see the float here. The float is going to be over on statistics right here, float 477,000. So is it weird that today EDBL only had 200 shares available, and we have this play, which is AWIN, which only has 477,000 shares available. You can see over on Trade Ideas, it has 620,000 shares available. So you can see it's still underneath a million in float. Underneath a million float is a very low float play, a stock that can go on a very hard spike. Now we look at the past chart history. Past chart history pattern. What do you guys realize? Everything that I've been teaching you guys before, everything I've been stating before. If I bought this play over the last 9 months, over the last year and a half, what are the better chances? The better chances are that this play is going to come crashing all the way back on down. Over the last 9 months, AWIN has been fading and falling and dropping again and ugly and ugly and ugly. Now, there is the occasional spike. There's the occasional rip. There is the occasional run. The 200-day moving average is going to be the next strong area of resistance. This play right here has potential of spiking very big. I don't want to jump in on the upside. Now, what do I mean by the upside? Take a look over on AWIN. AWIN, this is still showing very strong momentum. What did I say that we want to wait for in most cases? We want to wait for that very large upper shadow and then start seeing the momentum start fading on down. We really don't want to just go against this play and hope, that, okay, it's going to start turning. We know that AWN has hype. We know that AWN has momentum. We know that AWN has action. So if we jump in right now on AWIN, I think there's a better chance that we have of losing at this time. We know that we will win in time. We know that this play cannot hold up its gains. We know that we will win in time. But at the same time, traders, when I take a look over on AWIN right here, I want you guys to realize that we want to be waiting for the reversal. This could go up to 9, 10, 11, 12, who knows? But I'm not going to jump in on it when there is so much momentum towards the upside. Okay? So let's see, AWIN, we know that this one's going to be opening up probably right now. AWIN should be opening on up unless we go to a 10-minute hold. So AWIN, we're at the 5 minutes right now. Oh, yep, we're live. AWIN, we're live. Let's see what happens here, guys. We're actually starting off with a little bit of a sell-off. Let's see if this thing is going to be able to battle back on up. Let's see if we can battle back on up above $8 and start taking on off in a stronger manner. These are, again, live plays that you guys can get involved in. I don't feel comfortable right now because I think it still has a little bit too strong a momentum. Remember, team, that's kind of, I don't see that turning indicator yet, which is why, again, we're still hitting some new highs. Patience is key. I'll tell you guys something very important right now. No one, not any person in the world has ever blown up their account by being patient. No one has ever said, ooh, okay, let me be patient and wait for the best entry possible and then jump in and then lost all their money. The thing is, team, we wait for that good entry. We wait for that good opportunity. We wait for the time that we are starting to reverse. Then we can jump in and start saying, okay, hey, now I want to get involved into it. Also, there are shares available to short now. Shares before were $19. Now they're $24. So shares before were $19, now they are $24. We are starting to get a little bit more of that upper shadow at this time over on AWIN. AWIN still has room to run up towards around that 200-day moving average. Right now, team, as you guys can see, just from what we've learned over the last 2 days, we're starting to incorporate a lot of what we learned now over into these plays, and we're starting to pick things on up a lot quicker, okay? I don't want this to be a boring, month. I don't want this to be a boring mentorship class. I want you guys learning. I want you guys picking up things. I want you guys pushing yourself. I want you guys being overwhelmed at times. I want you guys to, again, test yourself. I want you guys to be able to, need explanations on things. I want you to say, okay, wow, I'm learning a lot in a very quick fashion. Jack of all trades, no 875 rule on this. The 875 rule is great. I just think it has a lot of momentum at this moment. So again, 875 is an area that usually we start seeing plays turn. So yes, Jack, you are 100% correct. Usually when we go from $4 to $5 and we start seeing the stock go up towards $8.75, it usually always gets rejected around $8.75. Let's see if that's the case. But to me right now, I just think it shows a little bit of strength. So that's why I didn't bring that on up. It just shows that we still have a lot of momentum, and I don't want anyone jumping in at $8.75 when we still don't have that big long upper shadow, when we don't have that, strong reversal just yet. Would we just get up to $9.73 now? Could this be a little bit of our upper shadow starting to form? Let's see here. Any subscription would do over on Trade Ideas. Just a little heads up for you guys. So any subscription will do on Trade Ideas to have my charts. Also, I did post this here for you guys so that you guys are all good. You guys can see day 1 fully recorded, day 2 fully recorded. Molly, would you verify the float again? Under 500 million is low float? No, under, again, 5 million. 5 million, not 500 million, 5 million. So right now we're watching AWIN at this moment. Charlie asks, what time frame do you want to see the shadow in? It's a great question. And that's going to actually bring us over to our first lesson of the day here. And the first lesson of the day is going to be what? I want to talk about time frames. Now, time frames, guys, are so important. Now, first things first that I'm going to teach you guys about time frames is that no matter what, you always keep a daily chart up. Okay? No matter what you do, you always keep a daily chart up and rocking and rolling. Sound good? Cool. Now, other than that, you are going to always be having a minute chart that you are going to bounce around in. So you have, again, the daily chart all set right here, and then you are going to have a minute chart that you guys are going to be looking at. This is how you guys are going to want to read it. Okay? The daily chart is going to give us that big overview every single day, show us what the stock's DNA is, show us the previous spike, show us that it's been fading and falling over the last few months, over the last few years, whatever it may be. And now we always want to have the most detail possible while being able to see the start of pre-market to where we are currently at. Okay? So this is what I mean by that. I want to have the most detail possible by being able to see the start of pre-market to where we're at right now. So pre-market is all the way back at around 4 a.m. Okay? Now, 4 a.m., I can see to where we're at this moment. Now, this is great. Now, why is this great? Because I can see every little upper shadow. I can see every little pullback. I can see where support's at. I can see where resistance is at. I can see where we can go ahead and make money. Now, let's again break this on down in a different manner. Let's say I was farther away. Let's say I was in a 15-minute time frame. In a 15-minute time frame, yes, I can see more of the previous days, but I don't care about the previous day. I don't care about what happened again 3 weeks ago when there was no action. Maybe if this had a big spike in the past and now I can line it up to find old resistance, sure, that may be something I want to look at. But none of these days are giving me information. None of this helps me whatsoever. And instead, it's taking away information from me getting more detail on these candles. So instead of being in a larger time frame, especially when day trading, I like being in a tighter and closer time frame. That is going to give me more success. Now you might say, all right, Tech, why again do we want to see the start of pre-market? Because the start of pre-market is definitely going to have, maybe previous spikes or previous moves or previous runs or previous climbs, whatever it may be. So for instance, I'm taking a look over on FFIE right now. If I take a look over on FFIE, I might say to myself, hey guys, 39 cents right now is the bottom. 39 cents is the bottom. That's where we're going to have a nice dip buy and bounce play. And I'm also going to say, okay guys, 66 cents is the top right here. Right? That's the top, that's the area. Now, this could be right or this could change because guess what? I can only see back to the time of 7 a.m. Guys, there's information that I'm missing if I'm looking at my chart right now. So instead, I might want to switch over to a 2-minute time frame. And now I can see, okay, whoa, hold on a second. We actually went on a spike this morning from 36 cents, and we actually have a spike up to 66. Here's again a lot of strong resistance at 66, 66. Okay, I'm getting more confirmation at 66 cents. I could see we started at the day at 36 cents. It's actually not at 38 cents. So we can actually see that we could get bounce plays more towards this blue line. So if I'm again too close, guess what? I'm missing out on information. If I'm too far away, well, now again, I'm basically seeing information that doesn't matter to me, and I'm missing out on more detailed information. So guess what? Is there a perfect time frame? The answer is no. There's no perfect time frame. The perfect time frame is you going to be adjusting to get different ideas for you to be able to recognize where support and where resistance is at. So I always have a daily chart open, as I stated, to say to myself, okay, what has the stock done in the past? What is the stock going to maybe do in the future? It gives me an idea of how active the stock usually is. Then on top of that, guys, I like to see the start of the day, which is the start of pre-market, the start of it spiking to where it's currently at. Now, on top of that, if I go too big, guess what? I'm seeing information I don't need. But if there is a previous hot day, it is great to check out the previous hot day to see where old spiking highs were. Like this, guys. Hey, the old spiking high from yesterday was at 36 cents. 36 cents is also where we bounced off of today when we opened up in pre-market. Old resistance holds up as new support. Yep, this would be a great bounce play. So on a normal chart, I always have a daily chart open. I always have a minute chart open, the 1 or 2 minute at the start of the day to get the most detail. But do I again bounce around sometimes and say, okay, where was the yesterday old high? 5 minute right here, bouncing at 36 cents. We also bounced at 36. That's going to be solid. Okay, deck, 36 cents. Put my line in. Okay, let's get more detail and let's read more into this. So you got to be able to bounce around here and there, but it's about being able to get valuable information and not being too close. Some people say, oh, Deck, what if I'm just in a 1 minute time frame all day? Well, 1 minute time frame all day is going to be very bad. Let's take a look at FFIE, for example, right? FFIE, let's go back to yesterday. Let's say it's the time of 2:30 in the afternoon and it's FFIE right here. So it's FFIE, 2:30 in the afternoon right here, okay? 2:30 right here. This is all the information I'm seeing. I think that that's the high right here. I think this is the low. So guess what? I put my support line right here. I put top resistance right here, and that's incorrect because I'm too close to this. If I scroll back, oh wow, that was the high. And what? That's not the low. Oh wow, it actually opened up way down here. So you got to take a step back. The easiest way for us to be able to understand this is pick up your phone right now, right? Pick up your phone right now. Go to your text messages and try to read a text message this close to your face. Can you read a text message this close to your face? The answer is no. At the same time, go ahead and put your phone down and go all the way across the room and say to yourself, can I read that text message? No, you can't read the text message. It's too far away. So the thing is, what you guys got to do is sometimes when you're in a 1 minute time frame, especially around lunchtime, you're too close. You're reading too close to it. But sometimes, again, if you're just in a 30-minute time frame, things are too far away. You don't have enough detail. So I always like to start in a 1 minute time frame. Then I usually go to a 2 minute time frame. And as the day progresses, I take a step back. Does that make sense? Now, something I do want you guys to realize, though, is the larger the time frame, the better the pattern is going to work. So you guys might realize, whenever you have an upper shadow, let's say on a daily chart, it usually always leads to reversals and fading and falling in the future. Sometimes when you have an upper shadow, though, on a 1 minute chart, it's not going to be as accurate. Yes, you can see upper shadow, fade and fall, upper shadow, fade and fall, upper shadow, fade and fall, upper shadow, fade and fall. That's all great stuff, right? Take a look over on AWIN. Let's see what we have here. Upper shadow right here, fade and fall. So it is working right here. But the larger the time frame, the better it's going to be. You can see 1 minute it worked, 2 minute right here, it's starting to work. You can go right here, 3 minute, there's the upper shadow. Cool. You can confirm with it, 5 minute, there's a big upper shadow. So you can see like all the candles lined up and it's all good to go. Sometimes, again, when you jump in a little too early on the 1 minute time frame, it may not again be as helpful as you want it to be. But when you see these big long upper shadows and you can confirm in a 2 or 3 minute or 5 minute chart, hey, that is going to allow you to now be a lot more successful with your shorts. So when you have a 1 minute time frame and you have, let's say, a bull flag pattern, not as many people may be seeing it. But when you're in a 10-minute time frame or a 60-minute time frame or a daily time frame or a weekly time frame, you have a better chance of success. The larger the time frame, the more eyes that are going to be able to see that time frame and the better chance of someone else seeing the same pattern that you see. The issue is when, again, traders say, when traders in a 1 minute and try to make every single pattern off of 1 minute. So there is going to be pros, there is going to be cons, but you got to find that balance of what works for you. Okay, I always have a daily chart up no matter what, though. That is going to be very important. So awesome job, awesome work, great job for everyone here. Now, let's keep this party going even more. AWN starting to get a little bit of hype, and AWIN starting to get a little bit of momentum. I do want to go into a lesson today, which is going to be going over float and volume, which is going to be crucial to shorting success. So float and volume are going to be crucial to shorting success. We are going to go into that. But time out, little bit of a banger alert, guys, for every single person right here is what? I'm giving away something else to you guys. Yesterday, I gave away, again, trade idea scanners, which was absolutely awesome. Today, this one isn't as good. Okay, pipe down. This one's not as good, but I'm going to send this out, a trading journal to you, which is, it's nothing crazy, but I think this is great for you guys to at least just be starting on off. So I'm going to email this to you guys later on tonight, which is going to be great for you guys to just track your trades. So this is just like an example, right? You can type out the date, type out the stock. Did you go long or short on it? How many shares did you do? Did you buy it? Did you sell it? Or where did you short at? Where did you cover? What did you risk? What was your commission? What was your P&L, right? What's your win percentage? And Excel does this for you, right? You can write out any sort of comments of what you think. You can change these around a little bit. So the thing is, team, I'm just going to send this out to you. You can use it if you would like to, but it is good to track your trades. It is good for you guys to say to yourself, hey, you know what? Let me see, if I'm progressing. Let me see, okay, oh wow, I notice whenever I buy a lot of shares, I always lose. When I do smaller shares, I always win. Maybe that has something to do with emotion. So tracking your trades, even if you discover one thing that's going to help you, it's definitely worth it. If that's, you go too big on size at sometimes. Maybe again, you're taking too much risk. Maybe again, your P&Ls are smaller than your losses, right? Your wins are smaller than your losses, things that you may have to correct. So we do have a lot that you want to be going over through that. So I am going to send you guys this trading journal so that you guys can become better and you guys can start growing every single day. So that's going to be awesome. Man, traders, I feel like we are flying on this day. I feel like we are just absolutely flying. I feel like we got so much going on already. I feel like we got so much action, so much activity, so much hype in this day. Whew. Man, and I also had someone email me this before, say, hey, Deck, are you going to make trades, right? Are you going to make trades over on these plays? Absolutely, right? Absolutely I'm going to make trades, but I want to teach you. I want to teach you about these stocks. I want to teach you about these plays. I want to teach you about, all these strategies, and then we're going to do it together, right? So that's, very, very important. As I said, I want to build a shorting army here that we're all set ready to go together. Anyone see the video I posted last night? I honestly, this was actually a little bit of time ago. I don't know how they ever allowed me to do this. I don't think you're allowed to do this anymore. I don't think you're honestly allowed to hang out of a helicopter anymore. But this is the shorting army starting on up here, baby. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive, baby. What a time to be alive. Man. Let's go. What a time. Guys, I'll be honest here. I don't know. I had a weird little thing where I was like, man, I think it would be such a cool idea to just hang out over New York City out of a helicopter. And you know what I had to do? I'll tell you right now. I had to call so many different places. So this is how I always warmed it up. I would call again a helicopter touring place. And then I said, hey, I would love a helicopter tour over the city. And they say, okay, I can accomplish that. And I said, but I don't want any doors on it. No doors. And they say, sorry, we don't do that. Okay, I got a couple hangups. Then I said, hey, you know what? I call another guy. I say, hey, can I get a tour of New York City? They say, yep. I say, do you mind if we take the doors off? And then, they would say, yeah, we can do that. And I say, okay, and then also, can I hang out of it? Just hang off the edge, so it'll be really cool. And then they would say no. And then again, I had to call 20 more people. And then finally, I just found some guy. I don't even know if he knew how to fly a plane, to be honest, or a helicopter. I was, this is how you always know. I called him. I said, hey, how you doing today? And he just answered a business, a company. He answered with just sup. That's it. Not, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? Hey, welcome to, again, New York City Touring Heights. I said, hey, how you doing today? He said, sup. What's up? Okay, so already I knew I'm on my guy. I said, hey, can we, again, tour? No doors. And can I hang out of it? And he goes, sure. So again, we flew up there, got it done. Kirby, who was taking those pictures, we had another helicopter go up with him, and my friend sat in the other one, grabbing those videos. So we had 2 helicopters up there. We had 2 helicopters. Oh, duh, ladies and gentlemen. Baby, I can't just go up with 1 helicopter. If we went up with 1 helicopter, that wouldn't make sense. Okay? Look at it. We're storming, baby. Getting ready for the troops to come on in here. Man, what a wild time. What a wild thing I did. What was I thinking? What the heck was I thinking there? What the heck was I thinking? It's like one of those moments that, again, you're just going to look back and tell your kids and say, what the heck was I doing? They would say, Dad, why did you do this? And I'll say, son, I really don't know. I really don't know what I was thinking. All right, team. Enough little break right here. Let's get back into the action. Let's get back into this hype. Let's make sure that we're all set, ready to go. We talked about AWIN. We talked about GME. We talked about some of these plays. Let's dive into a little bit of a lesson now, okay? So let's dive into a little bit of a lesson. Let's make sure every single person understands this. If you are a TRADECASTER member, you have definitely seen this lesson before, just because float and volume is something that I love teaching about, and it is so crucial. So you have already heard me say float and volume. These things interlocked. They go hand in hand together. So traders, we are going to break this on down and make sure every single person understands this. Float and volume. This is like the Bash twins, guys. They go together. They are brothers in this. When we have float, volume's going to be coming on in. When we have volume and a stock has a low float, these plays are going to go absolutely bonkers. So when I'm looking for shorts, remember, team, I am looking to get paid quickly, and I'm looking to get paid as fast as I can. Usually, the quickest money is always going to be coming from stocks that are smaller plays, which again is going to have bigger percentages, which is going to be more appealing towards traders with smaller accounts. And usually, again, traders with smaller accounts are always going to be the people that just pump up plays that usually end up, again, which I never want, usually end up losing all their money. We want to be looking for the highest plays with the most amount of volume and the lowest floats out there. These are going to spike up the hardest and then dump the hardest, just like we saw today. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Okay, we'll go back into the examples of today. So what is the float? The float's simple enough. I'm just going to give you the easy definition. The float are the shares offered to the public. When you have a high float, you have a high supply. When you have a low float, you have a low supply. The lower the supply, obviously, the more in demand we could possibly get it. When something is very rare, right? There's only a small amount. Those prices could increase dramatically. And that's where the volume comes on in. So float. Float is the outstanding shares minus those that are restricted or held by insiders or major shareholders. Floating stock will change over time as new shares may be issued and shares may be bought up by insiders or against shareholders. And low float stocks tend to have higher spreads and more volatility. Boom, boom, boom. That's what we like. So the best way to be thinking about float right here is, remember, thinking about this as simply enough as supply. Okay? So, easiest example, I've given this example a bajillion times before, but what I always like to think about it is Christmas Eve. Everyone close their eyes right now and imagine that it is Christmas Eve and you are a parent and you have little Timmy. And little Timmy, you told him that you were bringing him home an Xbox. He's been a great boy this year and Santa is bringing him an Xbox. But guess what? You've been a little busy. You've been saying to yourself, oh man, I'm going to go get that Xbox one of these days before Christmas. And now it's Christmas Eve and you're saying, man, I got to go get little Timmy an Xbox. So you show up to Best Buy and you know what? You see a big pyramid of Xboxes. There's more than enough Xboxes for everyone. Hey, no issues, no problems, no issues whatsoever. Everyone can get an Xbox. It's fine. It's easy. So guess what? You walk on up and everyone's smiling. You might see your neighbor, right? You say, hey, how's it going, Carl? Having a good time, Carl? All right, hey, Merry Christmas. See you later. right? It's easy. Everyone's happy. Everyone nice and calm. It's nice and delightful. Now let's change this story. Let's change this story where you again walked in and now there was only one Xbox left. And you saw 7 other parents all staring at that Xbox. And all 7 other parents are saying, I need to get that Xbox right now. Guess what it turns into? It turns into chaos, right? It turns into absolute chaos. You are running to that Xbox as quickly as you can. You're pushing Carl into, again, the water. Fuck you, Carl. Get out of here, right? You're getting caught up in the entire mess. It's just, getting absolutely chaotic in every single way. Every person is just grabbing, trying to get that Xbox. Now, imagine fighting for one Xbox. It changes the entire environment. And this is how supply and demand works. Now, again, an employee, right? An employee could literally grab that Xbox and say, guys, we're going to do this a different way. This Xbox goes for $300. Everyone raise your hand if you want to pay $300 for it. Keep your hand up if you would pay $500. Some hands go down. Keep your hand up if you would pay $1,000 for it. More hands go down. Who here would pay $4,000 for this Xbox? Only one guy is left. Frank. Frank is saying, hey, you know what? I'll pay that one. I'll pay $4,000 for little Timmy. Guess what, guys? That Xbox, that guy just paid 15x for. He just paid 15 times the original price for it. Now, why? Because everyone wanted it and there was such low supply. So, this is how supply and demand works, right? Simple economics. Now, when we again break this on down and we learn about volume, volume is going to be all the parents. The volume is going to be the people that are rushing into it. Now, we could have one Xbox. That doesn't mean it's in demand if no one wants it. If, again, there are a lot of people who want that Xbox, that's the volume now that's coming on in. So the volume is the number of shares or contracts traded in a security. Basically what it is, this is not the correct definition I'm about to tell you. Please understand that. But it's the easiest way to think about it. The easiest way I think about it is the more volume there is, the more people there are. The more volume there is, the more eyes there are. The more volume there is, the more orders that you will have. The correct definition of volume is how many shares are traded from hand to hand. So you might see 100 people buy or 100 shares go through, 100 shares are sold. 2,000 shares are bought, 2,000 shares are sold. So it's the orders that go through, the orders that are changed from hand to hand, that's the volume. But in simple facts is the more volume is from more orders, more money, more people. So when a stock has a lot of people looking at it, that's where we're going to see a lot of hype. Now, let's take a look at this here, traders. If we take a look over on AWIN, okay? AWIN, we can already see this play has a very low float, 620,000. What did I already start with? I started by telling you that float comes down to this, and we're going to make an easy little diagram for you here. Float. If you want to get the craziest float, so we're talking about absolutely wild, crazy, big spikes, big rips, big runs, it is going to be 5 million or less. So if you have less than 5 million float, you can see a very big spike, a very big run. All right. If you want to see a solid spiker, right, you could definitely see some action. You could definitely see some movement. You are going to be looking between the areas of 6 million all the way up towards around 20 million. So can you see a big spike on, 7 million in float? Absolutely. Can you see a big spike with 12 million in float? Absolutely. But it's definitely going to be, a little bit slower. And then usually what we have here is slow. The slowest plays, the most boring plays are going to be like, 20 million plus. So sometimes you'll see like 100 million in float. These are plays that are never going to spike very hard. The only exceptions would be like GameStop or meme plays, okay? But 99% of the time, this is the easy way to think about it. So when I take a look over on my plays right here, AWIN, 620,000 in float. Take a look on what AWIN did. It went on a crazy rip and run. Take a look right here, float, FLT. Float, 299,000 in float over on EDBL. Take a look what EDBL did. EDBL went from $4 and spiked all the way up to $9. If you had a $4,000 account today and you again rode that up to $9, you could have turned $4,000 into a $5,000 profit. You would have again $9,000 in your account tomorrow. That's what's so crazy about the float. So the thing is, I always like looking for low floats, right? 5 million float, LIDR. Guys, LIDR is starting to spike right now. Guess what? It only has 5 million in float. So when you have hard spikes, in our case, we can get hard dumps and hard reversals and hard drops. Now let's take a look over on volume though. How can we again be able to tell if a stock has a lot of volume? Well, usually when you're a top gainer, you're always going to have volume. But the thing is, you always want to be looking or can be looking over on Yahoo Finance. So when I take a look over on these plays here, such as LID, let's take a look. Let's go LIDR. LIDR. You guys will be able to realize LIDR has how much volume? The average volume is 3 million shares. That's the average per day. Right now, it has 9 million. We already have 3 times its average volume, and it's only an hour into the day. 3 times the average volume on a stock that does not have many shares available to trade. Imagine this. Imagine if there was a restaurant and you only had, let's say, on a normal, you had 3, let's just say a normal restaurant, it fits 30 people. And now, showed on up, 90 people show on up. So if 90 people show up on a restaurant that only fits 30 people, 60 people are waiting for a table. Imagine if you walked into a restaurant and you saw 60 people waiting for a table. The bus boys are trying to go as quickly as they can. The hosts are trying to talk to everyone and cooperate everyone. The chefs are cooking as quickly as they can. It gets a lot crazier. Guys, you want to even see even more nuts plays? Let's take a look over on AWIN. Let's see what the volume is compared to its average. We have a low float stock, a stock that does not have many shares available. And on an average day, we have 216,000 shares traded. Throughout the day, 216,000 shares are traded. But today, there's already 22 million shares. So this is like what? 100, like this is so much more, okay? I don't know, 80 times more its average volume. That is nuts. That is so wild. That is so crazy to see. We are so much farther up, 40 times more. So AWIN right here has 140% gain because it has a low float and massive volume. So you can see how it makes sense. But the same exact thing goes when we start crashing on down, when we start getting weaker, when we start dropping, when we start fading, when we start getting ugly here, right? The faster it goes on up is just as fast as it can come back on down. And that's the beauty of it. If we know we can make a lot of money on the upside, we can make just as much money on the downside. And we know the downside is going to be more predictable. We know the downside is where we can be able to make more money. We know the downside is where we can be able to make more cash. So that is something that is going to be so crucial and so great. Now, we do have to keep going on and we have to talk about something. What about FFIE deck? FFIE has 41 million in float. Why is this one moving on up? 2 different reasons. Number 1, it's a meme stock. Didn't I tell you that meme stocks can spike hard? Right? Because they basically have an entire army of people behind it. But also, it has 41 million float. The stock, let's remember here, traders, this stock is only or was only 9 cents. It was only 9 cents. So, if we think about it in this manner, if a stock is only 9 cents, how many shares can you get on that play? Well, Deck, if a stock is 9 cents, I could buy like 20,000 shares. I could buy 100,000 shares. Exactly. What did I tell you the float was? The float was the shares offered to the public. If a stock is only 9 cents, 10 cents, it's okay if the float's a little bit bigger. Because what would happen if someone bought 100,000 shares on a stock that's $6? That means they're putting in $660,000 on this play on a stock that, again, only has 620,000 shares available. The stock would go bananas. If someone bought right now almost $1 million on AWIN, it'd probably spike up to $10 plus. Now, let's think about it though. If someone bought in 100,000 shares over on FFIE, 100,000 shares on FFIE is only $40,000. So you can see there's a massive difference. So please note right now, if you guys have a larger float, it can still spike if the stock is underneath like 50 cents. So you can buy more shares so the float can be a little bit larger and you can still be able to spike on up. Does that make sense? So please, again, write that down just so you don't get confused by it. Let's just keep going in on this a little bit more here. Make sure every single trader is all set. Scrolling on down, volume, you can see volume at the bottom of the charts. And as we know, we talked about volume equals activity, activity equals profit. Low float plus high volume equals massive spikes. So when you have a stock that has a low float, you are going to get spikes like this. Notice monster volume, bottom of the chart. BPTH, what is the float on this play? 2 million in float, right? So BPTH, 2 million float, you could see a stock, spiked up $80. It can go on that big rip and run. Pop quiz, how much volume is the perfect amount? You guys already know this. You need to compare the average volume to the current volume on the day. There is no magic number. It's about just being double, triple, quadruple, what you would like to see. Now, the best way to know if a stock is worth getting involved in, I'm going to tell you guys right now, the best way to know if a stock is worth getting involved in is honestly just by looking at the level 2. I'm just going to blank out that level 2. I don't want you guys focusing on it. I want you guys to focus on this level 2 right here. Looking at the level 2 will tell you right away if you should get involved on this trade or not. Okay? And how do I know that? Well, the thing is, team, I want to see people buying. I want to see people selling. I want to see this level 2 being active. So when I take a look over on AWIN, I can see that there are orders going through. I can see we're up 144%. I can see that this time in sales is moving. This time in sales is moving. We're having action. There's orders going through. As long as there's volume, there's activity, which equals we can profit. We cannot profit if a stock just moves sideways and does nothing, right? There's no money to be made there. So for instance, let's go ahead and I'm just looking for a dead play, SGRP. Let's say, Deck, what do you think about SGRP? Can I make a lot of money today on SGRP? And I type in SGRP. Let's watch to see how much movement there is. Still, no one has bought or sold SGRP. Not one person yet. Nope, no one, not one order yet. So let me ask you guys a question. Can you make money on SGRP? The answer is no. You cannot make money on a day trade on SGRP. Not one person is buying or selling SGRP. So I can see that on the level 2, that no one is buying or selling anything. If no movement is happening, there's no money to be made. So the thing is, instead, I can go over to AWIN and I say, Deck, can I trade AWIN? Hey, this seems like a much better time. Guys, I want to go where the party's at. I want to have some fun. I want to party here. Traders, let me ask you guys, for all you party animals out there, if you were so hyped on up for, again, this party on Friday night is going to be the best party you guys have ever gone to. And all of a sudden you walk in and there's no music, there's no one there, there's no drinks, there's no food, there's no nothing. And you're just like, this party stinks. I'm the only one here. Same exact thing, guys, how I feel like when I go to a stock. If there's no one there on the stock, I don't want to be there. Guess what? Everyone's having fun. Everyone's dancing. Someone who runs off the street and says, oh, did you show up to this party? Everyone's over at the AWIN club. Everyone's at AWIN right now. Woo! Yeah, that party's popping on off. That's where you want to be. Guess what? You hop in the Uber. You head on over to Club AWIN. Club AWIN. I'm going to Club AWIN tonight. This is, again, a much more active, much more fun time. Okay? So that's, something very important that every single trader needs to understand. That's something very important that every single trader needs to know. So float, volume, the trading journal. We've talked about, of course, time frames today already. So we got a lot. Traders, let's take a little bit of a breather right here. I do want to, again, open up the floor right now at this time, just like we have been doing. Does anyone have any sort of questions, comments, or concerns right now? So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, we're going to take a 5-minute breather here, and I want everyone to write out if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and I will answer them all. As always, I always like to get a bottle of water at this time, so I'm going to throw on a little bit of tunes right here at this moment so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Give me, again, about 2 seconds. I'm just going to run across the room, get myself a quick drink of water, but if you have any questions, anything that's confusing you at all, this is the time that you want to ask. All right, let's get ready to rock. Let's get ready to go.
Survive unless we get a little crazy. No, we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy. No, we're never gonna survive unless we get a
All right, traders, let me get back over into this right here for you guys. All right, let me answer some questions right now so we're all set, ready to rock. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's keep it going here. Testing, testing. Oh, I was looking over on the second live stream. I don't think, again, the mic was picking up the second live stream here today. I apologize about that. So let me get all set, ready to go, and bring this on over to our questions so I can read them all. Okay, JP asks, hey Deck, thanks for all you're doing. Will you be talking about the S&P 500 on how to master there? So the S&P 500, you don't really short the S&P 500. So I'm not going to be talking too much about the S&P 500 right now. The S&P 500 is something that I definitely look at a lot. But just kind of for the shorting strategies and these shorting lessons, I'm not going to be looking too much at it during our lessons. But yes, are there good option trades on the S&P 500? For sure. Are there good opportunities to make money on the S&P 500? For sure. But the S&P 500 is $526. Unless you have at least $200,000 in your account, you're probably not going to be doing any shorts on the S&P 500 just because it's too expensive. Reese, if you hold a short for 3 months, do you have to pay more locate fees more than once? Nope. All you have to do is pay the shorting fee one time and that's it. Now, I will say, check with your broker, whoever your broker is, on overnight fees or anything along those areas. Someone asked me today, they said, Deck, what is the fee if I use margin? What is the fee if I hold overnight? What is the fee if I, don't use my locates? What is the fee, whatever it may be? If you have any questions about broker fees, your broker will be able to give you a much better answer than I will, okay? So please check with your broker anything that has to do with fees and trading fees and locate fees and overnight fees and shorting fees. But as in, do you have to locate fees every single day? No, you only have to do it once. And then if you hold that play, you already have them. You're all set, ready to go. The Browns, will these videos be available to watch forever after these 30 days? Correct. We will make them accessible for TradeCaster members for sure. Jay Shady, so what I'm gathering is the scanners are absolutely essential for shorting. Not having the scanners would make it difficult to be successful, I'm guessing. Correct. You definitely need to have some sort of scanners for shorting or, again, just day trading in general. If you don't have, again, if you don't have basically a lot of these trades and ideas given to you in a quick manner, you're going to miss them, right? Some people are like, oh, Deck, I can't. It's tough. It's like people are saying, hey, Deck, I can't, afford the scanners or this, whatnot. And that's okay. If you can't afford the scanners, I agree. I understand that. But the thing is, I will live stream them for you. So at least being TradeCaster so that you guys are all good to go. If you don't have TradeCaster and you don't have scanners and you're basically just sitting here on your chair hoping to be able to follow people on Twitter to give you answers, you're just not going to be very successful. You're just going to be very late, right? So it's almost like you want to be a race car driver. If you want to be a race car driver, you're going to have good equipment. You're going to have light speed. You're going to have Fox Runner for your new scanner. You're going to have trade ideas. You want to have good equipment to show you what is going to be the best. FO2, I need to rewatch the video from yesterday, but a quick breakdown of the light speed setup would be helpful. I'm telling you, FO2, hit the video and you could just really scroll to the part where I go over my light speed. I go over for like 15 minutes and it'll just explain everything. Okay, so I don't want to take too much time and kind of go out of schedule there, but just literally click the video from yesterday, scroll on over to where you see all my brokerage, and again, I explain what absolutely everything is. Just one, any reason there's no time in sales or just personal preference? There is a time in sale, like this right here on the sidebar. So we got the level 2 right here, and the time in sales is the sidebar right here. Time in sales, again, all I'm using the time in sales for is just making sure that there is volume, right? As long as there's orders going through, that's all I care about. So it's not like I'm studying the time in sales. I'm studying the chart, and then I just want to make sure that there's volume that comes on through. Nuts, when you locate and pay the stock fee, how long are those stocks held for you? For the entire day. But if you do not use them on that day, guess what? They are gone and you will have to locate them the next day. If you use them and you hold that stock overnight, then you're all good. Hermes Parkus, I put 10K into a Lightspeed account. On margin, I had 20K in the account, and now it's down to 19,875. Just curious where that 125 went when I haven't made a trade yet. I am not sure. I would contact them and ask them that. So I'm not sure, again, where that may have gone or where that may have went. So I would definitely contact them and say maybe there was an opening account, or maybe again using I'm not really sure. So contact them, ask them. And also, you should be able to get 3 months of Lightspeed Trader for free. So that wouldn't even be a platform charge. I'm not really sure, unless you located a fee. Did you locate any sort of shares or anything yesterday? Kushdan, I'm from Canada. We have Lightspeed brokerage here. What do you suggest? We don't have Lightspeed. What do you suggest for Canadians? So for, again, the neighbors up north to Canada, you definitely want to be looking at, or any international broker. You can be looking at Interactive Brokers. You can be looking at CMEG. You can be looking at Trade Zero. These are all options for you, for anyone that is international. Trade Zero, Interactive Brokers. That's absolutely fine. Or to CMEG is a little risky, so I'd probably use again the other two. What indicators do you use for shorting? If you were not here, Craze, yesterday, we actually went into that lesson yesterday. So watch the lesson from yesterday. We went over the RSI and the MACD. I will link the previous videos if you guys have not seen them. Let me just keep going through these videos, these questions right here. Last question after these, already got that one, sorry. Kev, silly question, eWeeble. It's a short. I just click sell and then choose the number of shares. Correct. You may have to locate the shares though, so make sure you know how to locate the shares. But yep, all you do is click sell first, then you click buy. If you hold a short in a ticker that goes bankrupt, do you not have to buy the shares back and then there's no capital gains tax? I'm not sure about the capital gains tax, but as long as the stock is on the stock market, you can short it. As long as that plays on the stock market, you are good to short. Now, if they're saying they're going to get delisted, then get out of your short, right? If they're saying, oh, the stock's going bankrupt, it's going to get delisted, then get out of your short, or yes, you would lose that money if it ever got delisted. So the thing is, short a play, hold it. If it's going bankrupt, that's great. It's going to go lower and lower and lower all the way to nothing. And once it goes all the way down to nothing, get out of your play, take your profits. Don't just keep holding until the stock market's gone and now you can't get out of your short. So again, definitely lock in. Someone that doesn't have a lot of money, where should I day trade? If you don't have a lot of money to day trade, that's absolutely fine. I would paper trade until you have more money. Open up a brokerage account and paper trade. I always say paper trading is the best way. When I first started to stock trade, I didn't have a lot of money, so I paper traded for an entire year while I saved up. While I saved up funds, I paper traded, and that's how I was able to get more successful. What package will the scanners work on for trade ideas? Any package. Any package you choose, you'll get it. What source do you use for finding floats? Again, I sent you guys these scanners yesterday. I'll send them again to you. Again, I use, for finding floats, I use my trade idea scanners, or you can look on Yahoo Finance. Do you have direct support from Lightspeed? I'm waiting 5 days for my account verification. I don't. They go through their application. So I don't work for Lightspeed. I don't have any say in Lightspeed. So it just comes on down. I think you're in Italy, right? So it might just be because you're an international account. So it takes a little bit more time. So let me just go through all of this here. All right, guys. Yep. Thank you again, Mary Jane, for posting all this. So yeah, I'm gonna. So for anyone asking, let me post all this for you guys right now. Okay. So for anyone that's still asking these questions, no problem. Happy to help. First things first is, if you missed yesterday and you missed day one, you guys can go ahead and watch this. Day one, I go over how to get started. Day two, I go over indicators. We talked about foundation. We talked about how shorting works, what you want to do with your shorting. Okay. So make sure you guys go check those on out. That's day one and day two right there. Yesterday, I also gave away all of my scanners here. Trade ideas, when you guys go to the checkout page here, you should be getting 15% off. That's what they told me when they sent me this link. Also, if you want the same exact scanners on my screen, after you guys, again, check out on Trade Ideas, you guys will be all set, ready to go right here. And you can click these links and you'll have the same exact setups that I have. Okay? Then again, on top of that, my broker. If you guys want to use the same broker as me, love it, awesome. You guys will get 3 months of free access on their platform. And that is right here. This is my broker, so that you guys are all set, ready to go. Last but not least, the new scanner that I use, that I'm always bringing on up, is Fox Runner. But the thing is, it's not available yet for you guys. So Fox Runner is my new scanner. But again, not available until next month. So it's not available yet for you guys. Unfortunately, I can only use it, but you guys will be able to use it. Okay? So I just wanted to put everything all set, everything's good for you guys, answer your questions so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Boom, boom, boom. Cool, cool, cool. Wanted to help every single person here answer all those questions so that you guys are all set. Really, again, Charlie, can anyone list any international brokers other than Interactive Brokers and Trade Zero? Those are really the top two ones. All right, so those are the top two. The Lightspeed, also Charlie's, the Lightspeed promo didn't work yesterday. I just clicked the link right here, and it says use the promo code Sean24, and you'll get 3 free months of Lightspeed, 30 cents per contract, and costs you less than a penny for your shares. So again, type in the code Sean24, and then you'll get all that stuff. So international, again, you're a little bit more restricted, but those really are the top 2 brokers for international traders. Awesome, 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 awesome. Team, let's see what else we have here. Today, guys, we have gone over so far. We have gone over time frames. We have gone over trading journals. We have gone over float and volume. All right, now let's take a look at some of these plays here. I do want to do one more lesson though. And today, guys, I actually want to start getting a little bit more into shorting strategies here. You guys up for it? You guys up for it right here? Getting a little bit more involved over in shorting strategies? Kushdot, are we doing any live trades, or when are we going to start live trading? We're going to start live trading after I teach you how to trade. Show me a shorting strategy right now. Deck, I don't know any shorting strategies. Guys, I get it. I understand. Guys, we are on day 3 of 30, okay? So, hey, trust me. I want to short just as bad as you guys want to short. I want to make money just as bad as you guys want to make money. But I feel like it would be a little bit wrong of me to just say, all right, guys, everyone's here. Over 3,000 people are here right now. Okay, let's pull the trigger. Okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Okay, boom, I just made $2,000. How'd you guys do? Deck, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I thought you were going to teach me. So, if you are a person that wants to pull the trigger and start shorting right now, you got to stick with me, young grasshopper, okay? Right now, you got your white belt on. All right, let's get you at least up to like a blue belt before we start making anything happen here, all right? So the thing is, we are in 3 days. I literally, again, told you brokers, scanners, foundation, float and volume, new scanners, give you, again, everything that you guys need right here. We talked about shorting yesterday. Let's move on today. Of course, going with our time frames, with, again, learning a little bit more about live actions and learning how the scanners work and what we really need here. And let's go into a little bit more shorting strategies, right? So we will 100% start trading live with you guys. Absolutely. We will 100% start pulling the trigger here. But I just want to make sure I teach you first, okay? I don't want to, again, just skip the teaching part and have people, again, be blowing up their accounts left and right. We want to make sure that we're diving in the right way. So let's make sure that we're all good, and let's move on to our next part of our lesson right here so that we're all set, ready to go. All right. Bring this on down. And let's talk about literally, and today's a big lesson, guys. Today is going to be absolutely awesome for every single person here. Today, we are going into something that is huge. Today, we are going into something that is super special. Day 3, different shorting strategies. Whew. You guys ready for this? Different ways that you guys are going to want to pull the trigger, different ways that you guys are going to want to make this money, different ideas that you guys can do every single day to be able to come out on top. So, shorting strategies. The first one that we are going to start off with is the fan favorite, is something that I've already taught you guys. But what it comes on down to is looking for those upper shadows. This is something that we have seen works multiple times just within the last 3 days. In the last 3 days, you have seen so many different examples of every single time that we form an upper shadow, it is going to be the indication that we are starting to fade on off. The easiest way that I always like to think about this is we know that when we see an upper shadow, it is when we are at the top of the mountain. If we climb the mountain to the very tippity top, when we get up here, we usually put a flag at the top, letting everyone know in the future that we have climbed this mountain, we have conquered this mountain. And then guess what we do? We head back down the opposite side. We head on down the mountain. And that is a great way to know that we have now reached that top. We are seeing those big upper shadows. It's almost like we have reached the peak. We have reached the summit, and now it's time to head back on down. Really what upper shadows mean though, is upper shadows mean that traders tried to push the play up towards a new level and traders got exhausted. There was a lack of buyers, a lack of potential to be able to spike on up, and sellers moved in. Buyers said, okay, I'm done here. And that is always one of the best indicators to know that we're going to reverse on down. Upper shadows show weakness. When a stock spikes and can't hold its gains, it makes buyers believe the stock is now weak, which means more selling, which means we can jump in on shorts. Long upper shadows indicate a reversal. So what we're always looking for is looking for these upper shadows right here. We look for strong trends, upper shadow, and that's going to lead towards that reversal to the downside. Strong trend, upper shadow leads the reversal to the downside. Strong trend, upper shadow leads to the reversal on the downside. So let's take a look at today. Let's take a look at today, guys, and let's see what we can do on this day. So today, when I take a look over on AWIN, let's just go back to a 2 or 3 minute time frame, doesn't matter. Okay, AWIN, you guys tell me, if I shorted when I saw a big upper shadow, would I have been successful? If I shorted the number one top gainer when I saw an upper shadow right here, would I have made money? The answer is yes. If I shorted when I saw the big upper shadow form at the top of the mountain right here, would I have made money? The answer is yes. We also know that this morning we also had EDBL today. Look at EDBL. EDBL, if I shorted when I saw the top upper shadow right here, would I have been able to make money? Yes. Now, this will not always happen every single day, right? AWIN is a really awesome example right here happening on this day. But you can see how these upper shadows indicate that we are coming up towards the top and that there's a great chance that a reversal is going to be coming in the near future. Now, remember, team, you can also realize this and see this over on daily charts, right? Let's go over to AWIN here and just take a look over on the daily chart here. Whenever you see an upper shadow, guess what happens over the next few days, next few weeks, next month? It drops on off. Upper shadow, next few days, weeks, months, starts dropping on off. We can see it happen all the time. LIDR, big upper shadow, fades on off, right? FFIE, this one is starting to get a nice upper shadow, but it's just so tiny right here. Let's go to another one. RELI, big upper shadow right here. Guess what happens? It fades on off. Upper shadow shows that we have reached the top. We have reached the peak, and now it's going to be multiple days, weeks, months, whatever it may be, of fading and falling and dropping. So could you again come up to me right now and say, Deck, are you telling me that this whole entire time I have been trying to buy stocks to go on big time breakouts, and literally I could just wait for a spike, I literally could just wait for an upper shadow, and then I could just short it and just be able to say, okay, this is probably going to fall back on down? Yeah, guys, that's what happens here. Okay, we see this happen nearly every single day, that these upper shadows are going to lead towards these reversals, these drops, this weakness, and we can start seeing more fading and falling and dropping. So that is a beautiful way to be able to trade. Let's go over to our next strategy. Our next strategy is going to be shorting previous top gainers. Look for stocks that have spiked, that have over a 90 on the RSI. You guys remember this. Yesterday, I taught you the best indicators for shorting. We went over the MACD, we went over the RSI. Both of them are going to be great for indications on when to go ahead and pull the trigger on the short side. Look for stocks that have spiked for 3 days in a row or more, and look for stocks that have a large overextended move. So traders, we already know the facts. We have already broken down the facts. And the facts are that nearly 90% of these companies are going to fail. When we're looking at stocks that are $25 and under, these are companies that are not successful. These are companies that are struggling. These are companies that are putting their company on the stock market saying, please invest your money into us. People again be like, oh, why don't you go short NVDA? Why don't you go short Tesla? Because those are good companies. I don't short NVDA. I don't short Tesla. I don't short the S&P 500. Guess what I do? I short penny stocks, the companies that are going to fail. When we see stocks have very big spikes and very big breakouts and very big moves and very big rips and runs, these are the ones that are going to end up coming crashing all the way back on down. So it's always great that every single night, what you guys can do is go ahead and type out all of the top gainers on the day, right? So you guys can do this. And I bet you a lot of these top gainers that we're seeing at this moment right now are going to be top losers tomorrow, such as AWIN or SINT or SLNA or LIDR or FFIE, right? These are going to be top gainers that could easily come crashing back on down. So let me go over to my Twitter from yesterday, because I always post all the top gainers every single day. And what is today? Today is May 15th. So let's go over to right here, guys. This was all the top gainers on the day yesterday in pre-market. GME, SPWR, AMC, Plug, HOLO, KOSS. Let's look at these top gainers from yesterday, and let's see how well they held on up. Okay, let's do it together. So let's go back over to a little bit of a larger time frame, 10-minute time frame, and let's take a look. If I shorted yesterday, or again, the top gainers, would I have been able to make money? Let's see here. GME right here. Guys, look at this. GME, top gainer yesterday, big drop. Look what it's doing right now. Big drop. Right? Okay, so that would have been money. Okay, cool. Let's go over to SPWR. SPWR. This one, big time spike yesterday. Guess what? Top gainer yesterday. This stock fell on off. Guess what it's doing right now? It's falling on off. Okay, so we're 2 for 2 so far. Take a look at AMC. AMC, top gainer yesterday, shorted it. Guess what? Short a previous top gainer. Okay, 3 for 3 so far. Let's go over to PLUG. PLUG right here. PLUG was a top gainer yesterday for a little bit. Let's see where we're at this moment. PLUG, top gainer yesterday, came crashing on down. Guess what? This one came crashing on down. Beautiful. Okay, 4 for 4. Doesn't matter what stock you picked, you would have made money. HOLO, top gainer yesterday, fell on here. Again, guess what happened? It's falling on here. 5 for 5. Okay, awesome. KOSS right now. KOSS, top gainer yesterday, shorted it today. Guess what? 6 for 6. It doesn't matter what play you pick. You can make money on these plays. Team, previous top gainers. Remember, we are not shorting Tesla. We are not shorting Google. We are shorting garbage. We make just as much money as we do on the upside than the downside. So why are we not putting the odds in our favor and just absolutely crushing it? So that is what is so great. That is what's so awesome. That is what's so amazing right here. So I want to make sure every single trader understands this. I want to make sure every single trader is on top of this, that these upper shadows right here, team, or excuse me, these previous day top gainers are plays that are only based off hype, are only based off momentum, are only based off social media, that are all now going to be coming cracking back on down. Shorting, those previous top gainers are absolutely beautiful. Let's go into the next strategy. The next strategy is shorting pre-market top gainers. So we have stocks that spike that have upper shadows. Now we have stocks that spike that are going to be dumping on down today, previous top gainers. And now we have stocks that are shorting pre-market top gainers. So I typed out this, guys. This is hands down one of the most profitable and consistent ways to make money shorting. This is a very simple and easy way to trade, probably an 85% win rate. And what this is, guys, is it's my most profitable trading strategy. Stocks that are top gainers in pre-market have already made their move. The majority of top gainers in pre-market will fall, especially ones without news. Stocks that are up over 200% are easy short candidates, as there always be profit taking. So I want to show you guys some examples of this. The majority of plays that you see have big top gainers are just going to come crashing right back on down. Take a look at this chart right here. This chart shows us that right here, any stock that has a big gap up overnight, it has a quick morning spike and it comes crashing on down and then falls for 4 months. Then we have a big stock that has a gap up, has a quick morning spike, then again it comes crashing on down, falls for an entire month. Then a stock again has a big gap up, guess what? It has a little morning spike, then it falls all the way back on down. Right? It's like so easy. Now again, take a look right here. SLDB, big time gap up, guess what happens? It falls and continues to fall and fade and fade. You guys can see right here, again, big time gap up, guess what happens? Morning spikes and then it falls all the way back on down. Take a look right here over on SNOA. SNOA, again, morning spike, big upper shadow, and then it falls to the next 2 months. Then we have a big gap up, a little spike, then it falls to the next 4 months. Then we have again a big gap up, then we have a spike, then it falls and continues to be a bad company. So this is what I'm trying to get through your head. This is what I'm trying to get through your mind right here, traders. Let's take a look at today. Take a look at FFIE. If I shorted this stock this morning, would I have been able to make money? Go back to a 2-minute time frame. Stock again was the top gainer in pre-market, opened up at 60 cents, fell all the way down to 40 cents, right? FFIE, you can see it just right here. Take a look over on this chart. It had a big gap up. Guess what happened? It's not coming all the way back on down, right? So a lot of these plays have big gap ups and then end up ultimately always in the red. The bigger the gap up, the better chance it has of crashing. Right now, we don't have any big gap ups. FFIE was like the only big gap up. You know, if we take a look at AWIN, there wasn't really a big gap up. You can see that, right? No big gap up. LIDR, there's not really a big gap up. So the bigger the gap up, the better chance you have of seeing a big time dump. For instance, take a look at GameStop. GameStop, massive gap up. Take a look, it's been falling for the last 2 days now. Okay? So that is going to be absolutely huge and so crucial for you guys to be able to understand. So let's break this on down one more time here, traders. I just want to go over this from start to finish. 3 different ways that you guys can be able to make money shorting plays. 3 different easy ways that you guys can make money shorting. And this is what I use to be able to make over $500,000 when I trade. I wait for upper shadows to form. If again, I'm waiting for an upper shadow, it's just by waiting for that nice spike and be able to know that we're going to be able to get it. We can short previous top gainers because all these plays are again garbage. So all these companies are going to most likely fade and fall as the hype fades on off. And then we're also going to be shorting pre-market top gainers. The bigger the gap up in the morning, the better chance we have of basically just having quick morning hype and then everyone loses focus and everyone starts falling and everyone starts fading and everything starts dropping on off even more. Okay? So that is going to be another way for you guys to be successful in the stock market. Traders, so far again, this is going to be, for today, going over time frames, shorting strategies, float and volume, and the trading journal. Geez, another action-packed day. I told you, I made a promise to you guys, didn't I? That I'm not going to waste your time. I made a promise to you guys that when you guys show up, I am going to teach you everything I know about shorting strategies. I made a promise to you guys that when you guys are here, I am not going to sit here and try to sell you guys a course. I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, everyone go do this or everyone go do this click funnel or whatever it may be. I just want to give you the answers. If you want the answers, you're in the right place. If you want me to teach you and you guys can see at this moment, oh wow, Deck knows what he's talking about. I've learned a lot over this time. Hey, again, I'm happy to be here. That's fantastic. That's awesome. I'm trying to go the extra mile for you guys, going above and beyond, giving you guys different things, giving you guys different scanners, giving you guys different ideas here. So I hope you guys are fired up at this moment as well. And you guys are getting absolutely pumped. Can I see you guys over in the chat room right here? I always like to ask this once a day here.